So here, the whole narrative about the pilots uh, controlling the fuel control switches or operating the fuel control switches has been blown to smithers, basically because of technical evidence which has been produced. Now, this tech evidence is in the form of, we call it ACARS messages, digital messages passed by the aircraft to the ground station and back from the ground station to the aircraft. Uh, the new evidence which has come forth basically tells us the final 12 seconds. 1 second before the aircraft got airborne at 38, there was a message which went from the aircraft to the ground station that there is a fault in the aircraft. That is an automated message which goes, and there is no human intervention in that. Neither is the pilot aware, nor is any other person in the aircraft aware. So that goes to the Air India Operations Center. If it is a serious fault, it goes to the Boeing Center, which is in US, and they are monitoring all fault messages serious enough to be responded immediately. So at 39, the aircraft gets airborne. So 1 second later, the ground station in US basically responds that they have received a message from the aircraft and they need more information. So they query the aircraft basically. But after that, the aircraft stops responding. And what the ground station gets a feedback is no acknowledgement from the aircraft, which means that there is an electrical problem in the aircraft and the communication system has gone down. Now, a couple of seconds later, again, the messages go back and forth, no acknowledgement. And finally, the operations center in Air India, based in Delhi, does a manual intervention. So they send a manual message, uh, Captain, confirm all operations normal. So that is a manual message to confirm that the aircraft is receiving messages. And that also goes unanswered. So this trail of messages kind of proves that just after getting airborne and before what we call the fuel control switches were operated, well before there was a serious cascading electrical malfunction, which in all probability was the root cause of the accident.
So, first, before we understand what this cascading malfunction may have been, Amit, I want to understand what, in very simple terms, and forgive me if this seems somewhat less than intelligent to you, because I want to understand this for people who are not aviation geeks. When you say a message, we are not talking about words, we are not talking about text, we are talking about signals. Could you just explain that a little bit more to people who don't understand it?
So there are certain signals. The aircraft is completely computerized, digitized, and it is automated to send certain faults to the ground station so that they understand what's happening inside the tech part of the aircraft. So these are digital signals which go through various communication channels like the satellites or the direct VHF, what we call uh, very high frequency channels. So those are used to basically tell the health of the aircraft. So at all times, the engines and other operational parts are monitored. The health of the aircraft is monitored by both Air India and critical systems by Boeing. So these messages go back and forth,
And
and
these are
there is a
automated,
capability.
and these are automated. The aircraft is like a big computer in the sky, and the aircraft is designed to send automated signals, which is the language in which the aircraft is communicating both to Boeing and Air India in this case.
So
Yes.
these are coded messages, short form, uh, in 3 letters or 4 letters, which are sent to Air India and Boeing, and they have their own repository from which they decode these messages. So we have, like in the visuals, we have shown MAS and ENG. So these are basically certain messages which can be decoded only by Boeing, certain can be decoded by both Air India and Boeing. So these are short forms of certain faults or certain events which are happening on the aircraft.